Hello everyone, my name is Russell Wright from Network Empire. I'm the co-inventor of the Theme Zoom application, and today we're going to talk about certification summer 2012. And I have my business partner on with us today, Suzanne Bell. She's the architect of the Theme Zoom 1.0 application, Kraken, the last keyword tool, and the primary driver and architect behind Domain Web Studio, along with Matt DeCruz. We get a lot of requests for our one-on-one personal training, and today we're going to talk about it. Thanks for joining us, Sue.
Thanks for having me, Russell. This is exciting.
One-on-one certification, right?
Yep.
Okay, so summer certification. We've already had one of these a month ago, and it was a blast, right?
It was so much fun.
I mean, I'm actually surprised. I came back from Kauai. We had a couple of these lined up. It's not something we normally like to do, but in this particular instance, it was the first time we've both gotten together and incorporated the entire one feed to rule them all, and the your web ring domination system that's combined with so many things like it'd be hard to mention here, but we're going to try to cover all this for all those interested in this rare one-on-one training in this short video. Would you agree?
I would agree, and the one thing that makes this in particularly exciting is that there's the opportunity for Matt to come to the US and be present for this certification as well, which is just like completely mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, it is. Kraken, the last keyword tool, and Domain Web Studio. There's a synergy of technologies here that those of you who've been with us for years, you know what we're up to. You know it's crazy, and you know that we have been building sustainable systems that go really deep into the infrastructure of the web and the future. They're sustainable, while everything else is a flash in the pan, and we're still building these structures. Well, like Sue said, Matt DeCruz comes to America. I know it sounds like a film title, right? Well, that is kind of a film title. So he's the creator of the Domain Web Studio application. He's coming over from Europe, which is where, Sue? Where in Europe?
From Scotland.
Scotland, right. And this is a rare opportunity to get the entire team in a single room and build your online empire, or at least help you build your online empire right in front of your eyes. I don't want you to think you're not going to be working when you come to this thing, because I tell you what, Sue has the whips, the chains, and all kinds of things out on the wall, and you literally get the best stuff. You've never seen anything like this. This kind of certification training, this hands-on training. I've been to hundreds of different kinds of coaching events and had personal trainers my entire life. I know for a fact that this doesn't exist anywhere else because we built it the way that we would want it. And Sue is my first real empire type trainer. And she really educated me in the area of online technology, PHP, programming, big IT thinking. Both Matt and Sue have been a major educational process for me, as well as guides and mentors, and I've contributed that as well. So here's what you get. You get our entire team, you get our brains to build your empire. Okay, this is our new Perpetual lead magnet machine system. I know those of you who were talking to me when I was still in Kauai got really excited when Sue and I put this together, because we actually used some major principles from biology to help our students through the worst parts of their process to make it fun. And we call this our Stackable business model. It's a step-by-step process of getting you from down on planet Earth with not being sure what to do, barely having a single blog, or just running a business by the seat of your pants, into having literally you everywhere, right, Sue?
That's right.
This whole process of building that empire. Care to add anything to that?
We'll get to it in the slideshow.
The entire team is because in today's digital economy, if you're not expanding, you are dying. I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but when you look at what's happening right now in the online economy, Sue and I have spent literally years putting together an understanding of both the vertical and the horizontal connections. That is the pyramid, which is your stackable business system, and the expansion across multiple layers of your web rings. Whether you have one site, 5 sites, or 100, this empire thinking process that you need to incorporate will help you stretch and stay organized while you systematically build multiple streams of income. Very powerful stuff. So who are we? The empire builders. That's who we are. The ultimate success team for a digital age. Okay, most of our team will be there. Sue Bell, the architect. Sue, you can jump in here and correct me whenever you want. I know you didn't prep this, but I like to toot your own horn for you, because some of this stuff is pretty crazy and you wouldn't do it yourself. She's retired in her 30s for her career designing software for the U.S. military. She came out of retirement, because I begged on my hands and knees, to to order a mastermind, the network empire set of market domination tools. It began with ThemeZoom 1.0 because I was crying on the floor under my desk when I was working with a really large client about 6 years ago. Okay.
It wasn't pretty.
Yeah, anyway, we'll be quiet about that, okay? I know some of you who contact us are crying under your desks right now about the huge change happening in the marketplace. I can guarantee you that most of our students have been focusing on the wrong thing, exactly the wrong thing right now. The only people that are really talking a lot about this are Perry Marshall and Sue and myself as far as the core, stop being distracted. Well, never a true word has been spoken in this industry. We're going to show you exactly what not to focus on. Sorry, Sue. I get distracted. I just get so excited because you helped me stay focused on the stretching, on the empire-based steps that we could really implement on a daily basis and what not to focus on. Software architect, she's an inventor, ThemeZoom Kraken vertical market research application. Software architect, inventor, the last keyword tool, along with Kelly Reynolds, who will not be at the event, but he is in the background and watching to make sure all the applications, the servers, everything we need stays up. She's also the Domain Web Studio, the brains behind integrating all of Matt DeCruz's crazy stuff and ThemeZoom Kraken Soonmai's crazy stuff is going to be there. Proprietary concepts. This is only a few. I didn't want to cut you short. She has market domination web ring, PageRank strategies, how to maintain all the PageRank and build PageRank out of thin air when it comes to your empire, how to strategically integrate the Perpetual lead magnet machine. She's responsible for theme relevance index, the try algorithm. Too many algorithmic type things to mention, all the way from the original inception of the ThemeZoom application. And confidential, all of this knowledge will be yours at this training, one-on-one. I got to be honest, the kind of training that we do for you, can only be one-on-one. I used to argue with Sue that, we could do a lot more. And the reality is after this last one, there is no way I could do more than one person at a time. Because literally, we're focused day and night for that 8-day period, or whichever size event you come to. 8-day period, we're focused on your personal branding, your empire, and this is just Sue Bell's primary focus. We haven't even covered all the stuff that we're going to give to you while you come as well. Matt DeCruz, I nicknamed him Mr. Synergy. I don't really if he knows if he likes that name, but that's how I see him. Matt designed the Domain Web Studio, market swallowing, SEO research syndication, incorporated all of the ThemeZoom application with Sue. They worked on it a long time. And they've been working on it and upgrading it constantly. It's major stuff. I mean, honestly, you guys, it's really some mind-blowing stuff. It's never been attempted before. I spend a good portion of my day researching products online, and I've looked at hundreds upon thousands of different kinds of SEO tools out there. And we built it because it didn't exist. If it existed, we might not have decided to reinvent the wheel. But there's nothing in it like this stuff. Matt has a high-level IT experience in the finance industry. He really gets what I really love about Matt, what I've learned from Matt, is key performance indicators incorporated. He made me aware that SEO, and Sue's talked about this for a long time, but Matt really brought it in when the two of them got together. SEO has no standard. It's not an industry with standardization. That's part of the problem that we're facing. Domain Web Studio that Matt and Sue building, it's going to change all that. It's an expert incorporating key performance indicators into software user interface, and these are above and beyond the traditional SEO. This is the stuff that you can see in all of our videos, webinars around Domain Web Studio. Again, that knowledge is going to be yours one-on-one, and not just the knowledge. We crack these tools open and we do work with you folks, okay, based on your niche. That's what I was impressed about what Sue is doing for our last student recently. She really rolled up her sleeves and forced him to get in there, and he was really excited about it once he started seeing how it worked, how Domain Web Studio works. And you're going to have to do some work, but we'll be right there to guide it, looking at your whole business process from inception to personal branding to development to stacking to launch to website silo architecture to automation. So then there's me, the Oracle, founder, ThemeZoom 2006. I call myself Oracle only kind of as a joke. Really, I'm known as the neuromarketer. And I say Oracle because, well, Sue's the architect, so what the heck. I'm more about, playing on online persuasion and basically making sure that your conversion is up to par and that you understand the human world, why the irrational world. Remember, the Oracle in the Matrix was more about the irrational. why visitors do the things they do. And I'm founder of ThemeZoom with Sue Bell in 2006, expert in the field of online social persuasion, personal branding, neurocognitive blind spots, neuromarketing, digital context, all these crazy things. And I helped invent ThemeZoom, Kraken, last keyword tool, and I've been a user interface consultant for Domain Web Studio and concept integration. And I'm returning from a 3-year sabbatical in Kauai in order to help bring Network Empire to the market. And while I've been out on the island surfing part-time, I've invented the Google++ course, the Quora Inception course, the One Feed to Rule Them All. It's a collaborative process and creation with Sue Bell and myself, and she's a significant role to play in all of these developments. And of course, the Perpetual lead magnet machine was inspired by the work that Sue and I have done over the years, trying to create a stackable business model by watching thousands of our students succeed, but hundreds of them failing, especially the really beginners who don't understand how to think outside of a small affiliate type mindset. Well, we've cracked that, and now our users at every level are coming in with all kinds of success stories because we don't let them go beyond the step that they're in without completing it. And that's been a huge positive growth for our system, and it's been very well received by our community at all levels. So here's how we build your empire. Vertical domination using our precise stackable traffic system. Again, we've already talked about this, but our stackable traffic system is basically building your questions from the ground up, creating your KDNA and your EKDNA, preparing your technical infrastructure, finalizing your website or blog, okay? And this is the section up here where we create your one feed to rule them all. Okay, then we have your launch phase, and then by the time you reach the top, it's going to be you everywhere. We will have successfully automated your business. We will have started you out by building your questions, and we're going to talk more about that. And we're going to go through this whole entire process with you step by step for, what is it, Sue? Is it one of our niches? Or one of their niches? Or how do we handle that?
We'll go all the way through it for one of their niches. They'll walk out with a blueprint and with a one ring and ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work getting the content on their sites. And then we'll also discuss up to 2 more niches. So in other words, we analyze a couple of other markets so that you get an idea of what you need to look at when you're analyzing a market. It's difficult to grok all of our tools and how to use them when you're just looking at one niche, because every market is so different. So I encourage you to bring at least 2, preferably 3 different ideas with you, and we'll spend time looking at all of them.
Absolutely, and it was interesting, Sue, because our last one-on-one student, he had 2 very different things. He had a relatively vast empire in one of the markets that he was working on, but he also had the opportunity to earn some money in the nonprofit. And so we were kind of jumping back and forth from a very, very unique nonprofit concept into a fairly, interesting and painkiller-oriented niche that we had to build out. So we had a couple of different concepts and market issues that we could work with within the presentation and the guidance with that student. I found that really useful, and he seemed to find it useful as well.
Yep. If you'll remember the one before that, one of his 2 niches turned out to be just completely unprofitable. It didn't matter how we sliced it or diced it. Domain Web Studio came back and said, you're not going to make the money that you want to make in this niche.
Yeah, there does, and that's another thing I think our people who subscribe and fill out our survey or our entrance exam should really consider is, have a couple. That's why Sue is telling everyone to have a couple different concepts, especially if you haven't started building your business yet. You really want to make sure that you bring a couple concepts so that we can help you determine whether or not, yes, it's possible, it may not be as profitable or as lucrative. The methods of market research, ranking, factor, and automation that we utilize are like nothing that you've probably been introduced to before. We have an ability and a standard-based system that we're able to use our own tools, Domain Web Studio, Kraken, the last keyword tool, to really get a good market overview, or vertical online market assessment, as we like to call it, of what's going on in your market. And really, based on what your products and services are, because those are all included, we'll be able to tell you whether or not it's going to be useful or profitable based on your business indicators and your business rules that you set in Domain Web Studio. I was pretty blown away by that. How we're going to build your empire. Step 2. Horizontal domination using Sue Bell's market domination web ranks. This stuff is too cool to even talk about here, so I'm going to skip it. The thing is we've worked on this in a long time, and you take the slide that we just showed you and you connect it with this one. We have an understanding. This is why some of our more corporate clients and larger markets, this has to do with retaining PageRank, understanding the difference between your primary branded web ranks and your social web ranks. It includes all of that. And if you want, you can stretch your empire out as many layers as you want. This is a method that we use to retain PageRank. And I'm going to let Sue, do you have anything to add to this? I mean, without giving too much away, it's just so huge.
It's not just PageRank, it's also about the buying cycle and using different aspects of those rings to capture different aspects of the buying cycle. And so all of that combines to make this huge net on the internet that will dominate your market. You will literally be everywhere that your potential customers are looking for information during their buying extravaganza, during that trip from initial inception of, maybe I want this, to actually making the purchase.
Yeah, it's about branding, it's about PageRank, it's about traffic. It's actually not, it's too much to get into right now. And frankly, I don't know if I want to. Okay.
We have to shoot you.
Here's how we build your empire, number 3. Incorporating the secrets of website silo architecture. Oh my God, don't get us started. We have been talking about this since, I would guess it should be 2006, but it was between 2005. I was taking my first, I think it was 2005 with Bruce Clay when I first took it. And I always acknowledge and honor Bruce as the person who introduced me to the basic concepts before Sue Bell took it to the next level with her crazy automation stuff back when we lived in Wisconsin and we had our first business together in Wisconsin. Wow, crazy stuff. Website style architecture in a nutshell, Sue, go ahead.
It's a method for linking your pages so that Google, as well as your visitors, understand what it is that your website's about. And there's been another change. Every change that they've made in the last 2 or 3 years has been in support of this kind of an idea. And the very last change that they just made this week supports this idea again. They're coming down hard on people who are trying to do keyword that are just keyword oriented, right? They have one page, it's about a particular keyword, then they have another page and it's about a particular keyword, and there's no theming going on.
Right.
They've come out again with another major algorithm shift that's going to take your silo website structures just to the next level.
Absolutely. And I can't even begin to talk to you guys on this particular introduction about all the things that we do. We take this to a network level. And you know how there's a FLIPA about flipping websites and the rest and all the assessment tied to individual domains? When you come away from this, you're going to have a pretty good grasp on the tools, concepts, and fast ranking and sustainable ranking infrastructures that are going to allow you to consider the possibility of assessing your entire network, not just an individual site, but the value of your entire empire. Imagine flipping empires instead of just merely websites. Okay, here's how we build your empire. Number 4. We build your IsDNA. This is my favorite, FAQ. This is something that I've been building for a long time because when Sue and I first met, I was involved in market research back when I was working with Jay Townley and all kinds of other mentors of mine in the market research industry. I started in the bicycle industry and extended into the technology field. And IsDNA is our process that we invented to make it easier for our students to get past the big blocks that they would come up against before using Kraken and the last keyword tool. If you haven't heard of Kraken or the last keyword tool, SEO tools, you probably want to Google it, look it up. We're going to show you more demonstrations and webinars and tutorials in the upcoming days here. But these are very advanced. They are not keyword research tools. They are theme cluster technologies that allow you to rank for hundreds of keywords using far fewer inbound links than your competition because we incorporate them into website style architecture, what Sue just described to you. But we also include the theme clustering in those hierarchies, which really there are no other methods out there, let alone automated methods that teach that or provide tools to do so. So the challenge we were having, because with great power comes great responsibility, I guess, because there was so much power, people had the hardest time with the simplest thing. And so I had certain mentors out there like Mike Koenig and others who were teaching the basic ideas of asking questions. But we needed something very specific. We needed to set the questions up so that we could extract those questions from the market and the keywords from those questions, put them in to the KDNA or into Kraken and the last keyword tool, which we do for you on this section here. So you start with your IsDNA, we build out your questions, we extract the keywords from those questions, we stick them in Kraken and Domain Web Studio, we tell you the value of those words. Sue's going to help you build, and both of us will help you begin to think about how you prepare that technical foundation either for individual sites or for your entire global network, which she ended up doing in the last consultative arrangement, our last one-on-one, and it's really a really cool thing to watch happen. You could see when the sparks went off, when the eureka started happening. So the IsDNA is how we find the frequently asked questions, and we're going to include our Cora inception information and even some advanced levels of that in that particular empire building, the setting up your questions, reviewing those questions. You're going to get my brain as a neuromarketer and as somebody who understands digital context. We're going to go ahead and talk to you about maybe viewing that market a little bit differently than you have before. Is your market a vitamin or a painkiller? Okay, these types of things. And then how do you set your empire up? Once you set your IsDNA matrix up, you're kind of set for forever, basically, until your liquidity event. You just keep doing the same thing. Okay. Also, we're going to be using that proprietary method, including the theme extraction and the core inception technologies. We're going to give you some inside scoops about how to use Kraken, the last keyword tool, Cora Extractor, which is a software that we provide to our members, and Domain Web Studio together in some unique ways that Sue and I only show to our one-on-one coaching students. Here's how we build your empire, number 5. Sue?
Oh, I don't know if we can talk about this.
Okay, never mind. Next.
No, we sit down with butcher paper, man, and we draw the whole thing out, and you're going to walk away with maps, right? One map is a traffic map. This is how the traffic is going to move through your platforms, through your market, and into your money site.
Correct.
And then there's another map that's about all of the different platforms that you're going to have in all of your different rings and how you're going to connect them. So one's traffic and one's connectivity, and while they're both related, they're actually different maps. And so by the time you've sat down and drawn this whole thing out, you have a hard, tangible reference. And I tell you that the guys that I've worked with, they take those maps home, they stick them on their walls, and they use them all the way through to the end of building the empire.
Yeah, and into the liquidity event. I mean, you guys and gals, and here's the thing, is like, number 5 is we automate the entire process using our one feed to rule them all our RSS curation and our syndication system. We can't really plug those wires into the automated machine until we've properly built your foundation. And that's why we do all this. This is why we build your foundation first, because a lot of people are trying to automate their bookmarks, they're trying to automate the RSS, they're trying to automate their articles. We're going to show you methods that you've never seen before on how to do that using our painkiller article method that automatically can be, sliced and diced into multiple types of micro content that are syndicated out in the marketplace. We have all these things, but we can't really show you that icing until you properly build your solid foundation. And the big problem with distraction today, the big problem with most of the mentors and coaches that you see out there today is that they're not really dealing with the fundamental question behind the question or the problem behind the problem, which is lack of focus in an industry that has innovator's dilemma-itis. That is, there's so many new and innovative products coming onto the market that are all doing the same thing that the distinction becomes a problem in the brain. And as the neuromarketer, I'm an expert at recognizing attention distraction. And most of our students are capable of a multi-million-dollar liquidity event. But they're so distracted in chasing the latest grade, which Sue calls the shiny object syndrome, is the neuroscience determination for it, that they really aren't ready. And most people actually want this stuff, this one feed to rule them all, automated system. Everybody wants an automated business. And guess what? ClickBank primarily sells this first. All these fast, fly-by-night, easy button, you know what I'm talking about. Anybody's played in the affiliate market arena. The thing is that this is what you do last, not first.
Exactly.
It's last. Those things do exist. Believe me, we've got a lot of them. But don't do them until you've got a solid foundation. Right, Sue?
Absolutely.
I would say amen, but Okay, we open the vault for you at this thing. At this one-on-one event, we reveal the secrets behind the secrets, and including RSS syndication and automation. That's my favorite. And again, that's the cherry. That's the icing. It's not what you do first. Okay. The Google++ traffic system is included. That's not for everyone, and you don't have to use it. It's just that I have a lot of students who show up who end up taking me aside and we talk about it. Sue gives me a few hours. We go over it. We incorporate it if it applies to your situation, which is determined by our initial mapping. The Perpetual retweet machine is a confidential. Enough said. Market domination web rings include social platforms. We've covered that. How to put the correct wires, the RSS feeds in the right place. Multiple feeds, the one feed to rule them all. How to retain page rank and keep it within your empire so that you will rank higher for thousands of keywords using 90% fewer inbound links than your competition. Fact. It's true on your website silo architecture blog, as well as your website network, your entire website silo architecture network. Video domination and syndication. A lot of people have been excited by the things that Sue and I have revealed about how you can apply the exact principles of website silo architecture to the new video craze, not to mention content curation, premium content curation, video curation, and so on and so forth. Did I say that too fast? Probably did. That's okay. We don't focus on curation at this one-on-one event unless you want us to, and that's all determined during your initial survey, right, Sue?
Yeah.
Okay, and we give you much more. So, this is the stuff that we added this morning and added to the presentation this morning. I'm glad we did. Lifetime access to the executive training certification members area. That's right. Sue has carefully laid out her brain. That's no small task. I've tried to help as much as I could, laying this stuff out into the members area. And a lot of my brain is in there. A lot of Matt's brain is in there. This is stuff that the other network Empire members do not get because they just can't get it because they're not one-on-one students. Literally. There's only one-on-one students that have access to this right now, which means that only 5 of the students that we've had have this right now, or 10, or whatever our total number of students. Okay, this is major. Sue and Russell's must-have bookshelf. We keep you up to date on a lot of the information happening and spinning in the marketplace currently, and we go through it in this course. We don't distract you with these things, but they're incorporated in context as we build your multi-million-dollar empire. Okay? We're going to send you those books. You get those books. Some of them in the mail before you arrive at our one-on-one event here in Arizona, and some of them you'll get when you arrive. Right, Sue?
That's right.
Okay.
And some of those books are used as reference as we talk about this 30-day pre-training event. We do a couple of things. We're talking about your positioning. We're talking about technical SEO. We're talking about marketing, conversation, list building, increasing your customer value, theme mirroring, and third-party platform best uses. And these things we all cover in broad brush strokes because we want to make sure that you've got a solid foundation in what it is that we're talking about so that when you arrive, we can go right to the hardcore stuff.
That's right.
So we've got PDFs, we've got areas in the members area, and we've got these books that we're going to reference during this 30-day pre-training event.
Yeah, this is a comprehensive university-level course. This is stuff that, there's a reason that people at, Arizona Marketing University, some of the marketing professors and the rest have appealed to us to speak as marketing professors, guest speakers to these courses, because this is way beyond, this is a full-on business course tied to online marketing, and we're going to be covering those in context for you. We also have pre-event phone calls. We're going to talk about and assess and audit and prepare for this training with your company, your business objectives, your current knowledge base, your current marketing strategies, your goals for the training. We're going to make sure that we customize it to you because not everybody is the same. It's one of the challenges with, right, Sue? It's one of the challenges with large certification events is that too many people in one room, first of all, no one wants to share their proprietary stuff, and we don't blame them. We agree with you. The stuff we're going to show you should not be shared with anybody other than you, and especially in your market. Okay, this is why we have non-disclosures for some in some markets. So this is really what you got to be aware of, and much more. Oh, here's Sue's great picture here, including, I cracked up when I saw this, up to 40 hours of follow-up. And the first thing I asked Sue was, that's your 40 hours, right? I'm just kidding. No, we're both there. Actually, it really depends on which one of us you need. Sometimes Sue and I will follow up together. Sometimes we'll do it apart. it's just the luck of the draw. If somebody's working on heavy network stuff, if they're doing marketing stuff, they'll come to me. So, or neuromarketing, just depends, and we sort it out. We'll walk you through your first project. You aren't alone when you go home. That's I like that. You're becoming quite the marketer, Sue. Ongoing, this is the stuff I wanted to add. Guys, gals, ongoing integration with Domain Web Studio. The coverage of this alone, the one-on-one education with this alone is worth the value of this 8-day training. Is it 8 days, Sue?
Yes.
Okay. We decided, folks, that we can't do it in less. It's too valuable. It's too integrative. And really, if that's not time that you can invest to building a new world for yourself, literally, what you're going to learn, you're going to be able to pick up and do again and again and again. And the only thing that's going to change are the minor details of the newest distractions in the marketplace, the newest widgets and tools. At the core, the root, even as we move to HTML5, there's evergreen principles we're going to show you that are principles that are the underpinnings, the underbelly of the web itself and of business itself. They will not change. Stop being distracted. So we're going to show you Domain Web Studio by itself is worth the value of this course. Instantly output WordPress blogs or websites or non-WordPress websites. Just want to make sure that you know that, yes, these tools are all available to regular members, but we're going to give you a little coddling. We're going to actually help you see how we use this stuff, how we build website blogs in less than 20 minutes. Okay, how we start thinking about markets, how Sue's brain works when it comes to swallowing a market whole, how Matt looks at key performance indicators before he even spends a dime to build a business. We're going to talk about how I think about looking at the pain in the market versus the vitamin, and how to look at the questions behind the questions and the pains behind the pains, to ask yourself if you really even have a product that matters to match what you discovered in Domain Web Studio. Folks, this is crazy stuff. You'll never spend a dime ever again. That's a waste when you're finished with this course. Are you an agency or shop? We also do add you to our list of elite certified agents, and there's a lot of advantages from that. We're not going to get too much into that, not just leads and references, but you get referred to in a lot of different ways, and you have the inside scoop and relationship with us over time with a lot of opportunities, business and otherwise, to work with Sue and myself personally. So that's the deal, folks. Sue, do you have anything to add to this?
Oh, I think we've said it all.
The main thing is I'm wanting to sign up, and I helped create it. That's like, for me, it's like we created the course. We created the course for ourselves. We created it for what we would want. We created it based on an industry that doesn't yet have standards, and honestly is moving beyond that industry. The SEO industry is moving beyond standards and into something else, and we call that the network. I mean, it's you're building your own empire. It's just online business. We call it cybernetics. We have our own word for it. It's the combination of the human world, sales, neuromarketing, with the digital world, communication, digital hierarchy, pay-per-click, social media, and social influence. So much stuff's happening. We're going to show you how to put it all together, communicate that with your audience, increase your conversion, rank higher for fewer inbound links across multiple websites, flip the whole thing for a liquidity event, pick it up and do it again. My name is Russell Wright from networkempire.com. We really look forward to seeing you at this one-on-one event, but you're going to have to call fairly quickly. These things do fill up fast. We schedule only a few of them per year. So you're watching this.
And there's only going to be one available with Matt.
That's right.
So,
oh, thanks, Sue. Sorry about that. You are absolutely right. Matt is coming to America, and Matt doesn't come to America except maybe once a year. This is not the average event. You're going to want to sit with this guy. I'm thrilled to death about sitting with Sue. Watching Sue and Matt interact in this room is a whole nother level of optimization and integration. Plus, you're going to have the opportunity to work with the architects of some of the most advanced KPI-oriented SEO ranking and automated traffic systems in the world. Give us a call. We're going to put you through a survey. It's an online application. We do not accept everybody. We get hundreds of requests, and we sort through about 10 or 15. And again, it's first come, first serve. So go ahead and fill out the questionnaire. Also, when you opt in, you're going to call the telephone number if you really want to make sure to lock your position in. And we do have a live person on that call that filters these out to see how serious that you are. And if it's first come, first serve, we'll go ahead and audit you. We'll talk to you about how we process payment, and we'll immediately begin sending you your books, your updates, and your preparations, and your audits. Okay? So do you have anything to add to that?
I think that covers everything.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Russell.
You bet. We look forward to seeing all of you, and we want nothing more than your success. Your success. Yeah, yes, your success. Russell Wright and Sue Bell, we look forward to seeing you on the inside.